Good morning, you guys. It's been a long time, but we're back, baby. At least for now. I've been gone off the channel for a long time, all because of these trucks. That means business has been good and I've been back at work. But today, we're gonna do something a little bit stupid, a little bit crazy. If you guys saw some of my Instagram stories, you know a little bit about what I'm talking about. Yesterday, I started tearing the Gallardo apart, and we're gonna get into the transmission and see what's wrong with it, because it's got a bad noise coming out of it. But first, I wanna move all these trucks out of the shop, and then I'm gonna move my Nomad and Corvette. We're gonna pull them out, and we're gonna make us a little bit of room in here so I can get my lift all the way up and down. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that, and I'll be back in just a minute. I won't bore you with all those details. Okay, 1 hour later. God, that was a pain in the butt. The Corvette starter was sticking. So I was outside the car hammering on the starter and then jumping in and trying to get it to start, and then the battery died. But it started. It's all good. So the Corvette needs a starter. But today, we're working on taking the transmission out of the Gallardo, or Gallardo, or however you guys want to say it. So we're just in the beginning stages. I took the wheel wells and the tires off, and I took the underbelly underpans off. So other than that, we haven't touched the car. So I got a couple friends that are supposed to come over and help. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how far I can get by myself, but I know one of the first things that I need to do is take that deck lid off, and I know I can't do that by myself. Plus, right now, the battery in the car is charging, so it's been sitting for so long. The battery died even with the maintainer on it. The battery still died, and it's a fairly new battery. So, with all that being said, it's going to be a while before I can take the engine cover off of the car. So I guess I'll just start with some of the things on the back end of the car, maybe the back grille. I don't know what all bolts there are underneath that engine cover. So I'm just going to do what I can do for right now, and we'll see. That's it. What can I say? I don't recommend putting screws in with one of these. I mean, this stuff in here, this is only plastic. But one thing I didn't know, that piece is aluminum. That's not plastic. All that in there is plastic. You know what? We gotta see if the top will go up yet. I gotta get the convertible top up. Alright, so now there's a 10mm bolt right here somewhere, and I can't see anything in here. I think it's that guy right under there. So let's see if we can't get that. I'm not in a very good spot here. Right here. But we're gonna Okay, that was about as graceful as I don't know, as a kitten walking through a dog pound. But the bumper is off. Oh, look at that. You can almost see the exhaust. There it is, right there. Quick story, you little guys. Quick little story. I'm gonna get the flashlight. This one kind of hurts to tell. Yeah, it hurts. I got that exhaust from a buddy of mine that a lot of you guys know. His name is Nate Bossy. This was in Nate's Gallardo. And when he totaled it, he crashed it, he took all of his aftermarket parts out. And I bought this from Nate, of course. You know, Nate has since passed away. Yeah, kind of a bummer. But anytime you guys hear me or see me ripping by in this car, you can listen to the exhaust and you can say it was Nate Bossy, even though it's me driving. Nate's still in the car on his own. Is there not supposed to be something in there? No, that's just a plug. There's a transmission. These are my underglow lights, which we're going to take off the car. And then when I get the car all back together and I have money again someday, I'll put them back on. But right now they're getting pretty beat up. And I would like them to work better quick. And that's all beat up for. Alright. Let's see if this thing's charged. I don't know if it's going to start yet. It's been about half an hour. If it is, it's going to be one hell of a cold start. It up. Finally got it charged up enough. There's my VF Engineering supercharger. And my air boxes, and I guess the next thing that we got to do is take this off. I think all we got to do is unhook that latch right there. Unhook these two pistons and then take out these two bolts, and this whole thing should come right off. And we'll find a nice secure place to put it. Yeah, that's it. This one, no, that one can stay on. And then I gotta take the airbox off. Those filters have not been changed since VF put the supercharger in it. It's been a little while, so I guess we'll probably do a service on those, the K&Ns. We'll clean up all the rubber. Look at this, all tire rubber. It's everywhere in this engine. What can I say? Donuts. Yeah. But I'm kind of out of time today, so none of my friends showed up to help me, so it was a day by myself. I'll see what happens tomorrow if I'm able to get over here and work on it. But tomorrow I should be able to get this off if I got help, and I can start tearing into all this other stuff and actually get the tranny exposed. And then I gotta take the oil cooler out and a bunch of other stuff, and then the E-gear and all that gets disconnected and thrown up, and then we can start disconnecting everything and unbolt the tranny and hopefully get it out. If we knew what we were doing, we could have this tranny out in 4 or 5 hours. But I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done it before, and I've never seen anyone take it out. And I'm doing this all without watching YouTube videos. Yeah, no YouTube videos yet. Okay, I'll watch 1 or 2 YouTube videos, but only when I get stuck. So here it is. This is going to be it for today. I'm going to go ahead and put the lift up and get the other cars back in. And yeah. Well, I can't get in here to see how these come apart, but it looks to me, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm pulling the wrong way. Wait a minute. Oh, there goes the second clip I broke. Now how do I get this one out? I don't even know which end comes apart. Oh, here we go. Oh, I see. That right there has to go down. Okay. Alright, so we're going to need a couple zip ties. This one back up there. And then we'll put this one. It goes back up there. Okay. That is disconnected. Now, there's nothing else holding this thing on but these. No, these. And these. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make room on this other deck over here. So I got to move the Model A. This thing's in the way, so I'm going to move all that stuff in the back. I'm going to find a place to put it, and then I'm just going to slide that car back, and I think we're going to end up putting that deck right there. Things weren't even tight. Wow. So So this whole mechanism, you just got to loosen these two bolts off. That's the hinge point of the whole hood. And then this is the ram that pushes it up. So I'm just going to loosen it up from here and let this settle down here. Or stick it up, or we're going to get this out of the way. So, I don't know. We'll see. This is my first time doing this, so I don't know what I'm doing. So we're going to figure it out. I can guarantee you that. Let's see what happens. Let's pop this off. I don't want it to come off. I want the clip to come off, but I don't want the rod to come off. So I think we'll just hold that on and pop that out. So you know, that should be good. I'm going to take the whole thing off of here. Just because I don't want to lose them. Well, now I'm pretty much ready to take this thing off. I just need someone to help. Let me go ask my famous barber. We'll go see what he's up to. So he's up here in the front of my building, and he does a lot of famous people's haircuts. December 8th, we are having a toy drive here at the shop. He's hosting it. You'll see my cars there and a bunch of his other friends' cars. There'll be some other Lambos and McLarens and other stuff. So it's going to be a fun day. So December 8th, you guys remember, if you could just swing by Corona for a few minutes, say hi, drop off a toy, it would be so awesome. I'll have him tell you a little bit more about it when we get inside. But it's going to be a good day. See, here he is right now. He's doing somebody's hair. Oh, we got football going on in the background. Now, he's doing someone's hair right now, so I can't turn my camera around. But I'm telling everybody about the toy drive that we're going to have.
Toy drive December 8th.
Toy drive.
Maybe 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. We'll have everybody up there giving out toys to the kids. A lot of supercars out here, a lot of cool little things. It's like a car meet along with a 1-year gathering for me being open for 1 year. So there's a lot of good things going on.
And he's doing some big stuff over here. You guys come out and check him out. What's the name of your store here?
Taking off Fade's Barbershop.
There you go, guys. So he's over to Denzi. I was going to ask him for a favor. But I'm going to have to cut that out.
No, it's here. It's here.
Huh? No, I got him in it.
I do.
You guys, I blumbered. I did a massive blumber. Did it fall down in there? I think it pulled it out. John came over and we were just talking about taking this thing apart. No, it's still in there. It is? Yeah. How did it go back in? Oh, there's another one that goes inside of it from the other side. That's where it is. I'm gonna have to zip tie these up. Alright, so we gotta find the screw that was inside there. Maybe it's still, no, it can't be in there.
You took them off, right?
Yeah, it looks like this. Guys, it's one of these.
That's a big one. Did you take this off first?
I took it off, yeah.
Wait, it's gotta be.
Yeah, it went like that.
Where's the bolt? Was it bolt through it or?
Yeah, the bolts are over there.
I wonder if it's in the.
No, because, well, maybe. Let's take a look, guys. I'm going to put you down. Well, I'm really bummed because that was kind of, that was interesting. How that worked.
3 people would have made it real easy.
3 people would have made it a lot easier. But you know what?
You should use 3.
We'll definitely use 3 when we're putting it on.
Because you gotta one gotta line it up and maybe run a rod through it or
Yeah.
whatever.
Now, I don't know if I got to take this piece off. I think maybe I do to get the exhaust and all that out.
On that cross member,
That's the tranny right there.
I would say you would have to, or at least, I don't know like the top panel that the bottom's got. You probably have to get the top off to do the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna watch a YouTube video. That's the the dumb mechanic cheater way to go. I'm gonna watch a YouTube video and see if that has to come off, or if I could just take everything off down here. So anywho, we got that off. I can get going now and get some more work done on this. Yes, sir. Thank you, John. So now I'm ready to get stuff done. Since my neighbor came over, I kind of wish it wasn't so close. I could, I can move it over a little bit. But I'm ready to start taking things apart. Even though I don't know where all I have to take apart yet. I guess I'm just going to start with the airbox. So I don't know, there's this one. We're missing one. There's the back. I imagine this has something to do with my exhaust. Oh, that hose came off. That's the last thing I need, is to have a hose come off. I don't know where it went. So, we got same thing over there. You know what? I need somebody to come and hold the camera. If you guys want to come and be a videographer for this series, hit me up. I imagine with more of us here, it could be a lot more fun too. I'm pretty boring. Touch these K&N since the supercar going. I imagine they're probably dirty and this thing's been pretty choked up for a while. You guys ready? Here we go. Here we go. Woohoo!
covers, guys. Oh man, those are nasty. Oh, I don't know how this thing was running. All right, well, I'm gonna take these off, and we'll get this out. So, oh man, I gotta find those screws. Those are those little screws with the little thing in the middle. I know I've got some. I mean, you know, wait a minute. Those are my mass airflow sensors, and I'm pretty sure I can just unplug them. I just can't see how to do that. Oh, it goes in. Yay. We will definitely be getting new air cleaners. Yeah. I like those carbon fiber covers they have on here. That's all rubber and dirt. Put my screwdriver. See, I can't see now. You guys see my screwdriver? There it is. Okay, let's see. That goes in and that comes out. Okay. So my mass airflow sensors, look at that, that's my air filters. So my mass airflow sensors, one's on the left, one's on the right. So that's good, we can't mix those up, but I gotta get something inside those air intakes. I don't wanna suck up any crap inside my supercharger and mess up my throttle bodies. We're going to put these in there. And we're going to file them. I'll be right back. Yeah. Air filters. Now we got to get the rest of that air box out. So let's look and see what that involves here.
So we got a big bolt there. We got a big bolt down here. And we got a big bolt there. Is that all of it? Feels like there should be another one over here. Yeah, there's one more right there, and there's one right there. So I'll go ahead and pull those out and then get my handy dandy drill. Now, let's see. Two. Three. Longer section. There we go. Yep, you guys heard that right. You heard it right. A screw went down. But where did it go? Oh man. It didn't hit the floor. I gotta switch glasses again. Okay guys, I'm going to do some searching here with my flashlight. Someone just pulled up, I don't know who it is yet. We'll find out here in just a minute. I don't know if they're next door or if they saw my Instagram and they're coming over here to help. But we'll find out in a few minutes. I don't know if they're driving around to come over here or not. But look at all that stuff. I don't know what any of it is. Well, I know that's my oil tank. God, that screw's got to be right down there somewhere. But I can't find it. So I'm going to have to make a note that screw is for the airbox. So one airbox screw missing. I'll be right back. So I guess this whole thing comes out in one piece. From what I was reading. There's a, oh, it's right there. Told you guys. This is supposed to be a bunch of idiots taking apart a Gallardo. But as of right now, it's one idiot taking apart a Gallardo. So, get this key right there, long size torques. That would be this one, I believe. Can't see it, but that is the one. And there's one here. Oh. I have to go find that. And there's one over here. I'll be right back. Oh, look at that. There's one in the middle too. changing sizes on me. Out with the exhaust. Okay. So I guess now, you know what, I took all these bolts off of this thing. I guess I should have just taken off the exhaust. So that's where we're at now. So let me get something and put it on there and package up these bolts. So I do know that, and I know you guys know, that this car has gotten really, really hot. So we're going to spray this thing down so that these come loose. I imagine that's going to smoke like hell when I go to put when I go to start the car. But I think I'm going to need to take this cover off. That's what I think. I don't know how to do that. I'll be back. So I'm taking off the rear top piece, and you gotta take off these little plastic panels that are in here. Go down to the small one. And they're all different sizes. Everything on here is a different size. Another one down here. And then I even have one here. That is my cover. That's the rest for the cover. So we'll just put those back in there. I think I gotta take this out. I got an idea. I'm gonna label these real quick. Alright, I'm gonna set you guys on the supercharger back here. Yeehaw! So, I guess we got to do the same thing with that one. But to take this off, I need that size right there. Okay, it's not bigger than that, right? This one. You know what? It's starting to get cold. It's wintertime now. both of these off by hand. There, but I think I got a couple bolts under here. Here's what I've decided. I've decided that in order to get this off, that I have to take off the tail lights, and they're not very easy to get to, but I've taken apart harder things. So it's starting to get dark and it's getting really hard to see. There we go. Eventually you really lose. They're just really, really long. They're long screws. That's the hardest part. But the hardest part is not dropping the screws and not being able to find them. I already have 2 screws down in there that we're going to have to find when we take it apart. But I labeled the bags. So I know where they are or where they go. I gotta be close on this one. I already took 3 of them out. Holy cow. Is there one plug? Or do I gotta unplug them all? There's one plug. Thank God. There's a lot of screws in there. Let me show you guys. I'll show you guys the tail light section of a Gallardo. Look at all that. Lights galore. Fortunately, there's a plug right there. So, let me figure out how to get that off, and then we'll take the other side out. That was it. Just gotta pull out those 2 bolts, and those are just push and pull. So, I'm gonna go ahead and take out those 4 down in here. Oh gosh. I'm going to take these 4 out and get this other headlight out. Let's see, focus. Right in there. I'll get that other headlight out and the nose I'll be able to unscrew. Alright, there it is. I got it off. I think I'm doing pretty good. I know you Lamborghini mechanics out there could have done this in a lot shorter time. But I only have Saturdays. And I'm really close, and I would get it done. I mean, I wouldn't get it done, but I would have gotten the exhaust off, but I don't have that socket, and I don't want to strip it. So I'm going to have to pick some of those up. Maybe if somebody has some, swing on by. We'll rip that exhaust off of there real quick. But I think we did pretty good today. Yeah. I think we're looking pretty good. The exhaust is next, and then we lift this thing up in the air and drain the oil and do all that kind of stuff. And that's about it for this one. So I'll see you guys next Saturday and another video. Peace out.